tonight, the caller is back to Edward. I'm pretty sure. Whatever I said in the chat.
I don't think that's what you said.
I think you gave it to me, but
that's you then.
I'm
yeah.
not sure it's actually my turn. But
I looked at because it went you and then Birdie and then double dipped Ben and then it went into Edward last time.
Oh, okay.
So
it's just been that long. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we skipped a couple. So what happened last time?
So it was me last time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not me this time.
Indeed.
Okay, just double checking.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, what did happen last time? We quickly made our way out of the inn. I got the name here somewhere. But that's okay. Quickly made it out of the way so that Fleece wouldn't fleece us again. And then traveled back to the dungeon and made our way in, killed some orcs, ran away from a large number of orcs, questioned whether there was a large amount of orcs, went back inside and killed less orcs than we anticipated there would be. And that's about where we left off.
Yeah, and you killed like big boys, like big
right, yeah,
big guys.
Some, bugbears
we killed a couple two trolls. Right? Wasn't it 2?
I think it was, yeah.
Goodness gracious, look at us. How's everybody doing for hit points at the moment?
Really good. You know who's hurting is...
I feel like a hobbit or two may have been hit pretty hard.
Who took hit points was in the battle with me and took hit points.
And Tharnlin took has taken a couple of chunks, I think.
Yeah, I'm not doing too great. Rat bite. He's yeah.
I'm unscathed currently.
Who has the lantern?
Probably me, because I can't use a shield.
How many pints of oil do you have?
Many. Hold on. I bought 20. I've used one. I don't know how many I could possibly have taken with me from the cart or where, from town, but
I think I've got one on me as well.
I own a lot. I don't know how many I'm allowed to be carrying.
You can have up to 10 items without being considered with treasure. And 1 pint of oil counts as 1 item. Some items from the book can be bundled like rations and torches and iron spikes and arrows.
Okay. Well, in that case, I suppose I will have been carrying up to 10. Assuming I'd go through, so let's see, not carrying 10 oil flasks, but carrying 2.
I have some oil too if you need it, and torches.
So I've got 1 left.
Okay. The light does go out. You have been in the adventure site for 4 hours, over 4 hours of dungeon time, and your torch goes out.
And Jelly also has a lantern, but that was lit after. Lit during combat.
I light my lamp.
Are we allowed to take down any of the lanterns or the torches on the wall if we find one?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see you wanting to leave them up for finding our way back, but...
Yeah, as soon as you as soon as you go over 10 items, you are with treasure, which if you are in Helmer's case, who's in heavy armor, he would go from 60 feet to 30 feet. It would have his movement. Which is, he's kind of the pace setter for the group, so It's probably good to have like the nimble people and the people that aren't in heavy armor in the front carrying a bunch of stuff so that they're able to move. And in combat can only move 10 feet with treasure. So,
All right.
okay, so you light another torch, and I'll describe the room around you, and then you can make some decisions on what you want to do next. Okay, so you have, there were sconces as you came in. Only one of the torches was lit in the long corridor. I will say it was a ways back if you want to go get it. When you make it into this room, there is a smoky bonfire burning in the middle of the room. You now have the bodies of two huge humanoids who have fallen dead at your feet in battle. Also, there are multiple large pallets that have been drug in here. You have all sifted through these pallets, including one that seemed to have some kind of trap, which you used a pole to open. You found a bunch of gold and all these different things. At least, there's also bones and broken weapons and smashed armor and animal bones and nasty things and stuff, but you do find gold. And anyways, you look around the room, and one of you noticed that there was a door. As you approach the door, an outline, as Tharnlin approaches the door, an outline appears in the wall, clearly indicating a door, limned with glowing lines of some kind of runes. And there's also 2 passages out of here. This is a circular chamber that is about 80 feet by 80 feet in diameter, 80 feet diameter. And there's the way you came in is the long corridor to the northeast. There are also massive pillars in the room, probably about 6 pillars in the center of the room in columns, lines, 2 rows of them. And then there's a corridor that continues on to the northwest. This door that lights up with runes is to the west side of the room. What do you do?
So the door is to the west? The dwarven door?
Yeah, as soon as Tharnlin approaches the wall, it lights up like a door. It just glows like blue with runes across it.
Is it responding because he's a dwarf? Or because he's just a person who walks near it?
Do you ask him that?
Yes.
Hey, Darling, can you by chance read any of that stuff that's glowing over there? Is it in Dwarven or?
He looks at it, and you figure that it must be yes to both questions, because he doesn't answer them, but he feels along the wall until he presses a stone, and there's a secret mechanism that activates, and you hear a bunch of shifting, clicking, and scraping, and then this stone wall parts as if like a flower petal. And then beyond there's a short tunnel, and on the wall of the tunnel are dwarvish runes. And you do have a dwarf with you, and he says, "Yes, I can read this." It says, and then it is in fact in, what do you call it, Khaz'dul. It's in Dwarven. And he says, "Curse the darkness that lies below, and all the horrors it hath spawned. Foe smiter tried, foe smiter died. This foolish bravery doomed us all." And he goes into the corridor, he says this, and then just inside of that corridor, you can see beyond that, as the lantern light hits it, you see a desiccated skeleton of a dwarf. And it just lays there, a pair of rusted iron rails leading downward into the darkness at a 25-degree angle.
Where in the room is this?
This is, so it's a short corridor. The runes are along the wall. And then just beyond that, it slopes downward, going down with a rail. And there's a skeleton of a dwarf. What were you going to say, Lane?
I'm going to confirm that the writing that he's reading now is on the inside, not the outside of the door.
Right, it's on the inside, on the short corridor on the wall. On the left.
Okay, so the outside said something, but he deciphered that, opened it, and went inside, read some more runes. So my first thought is, if this just opened now, then at least that's the one way we know that we don't have goblins waiting in, or orcs waiting in ambush. But after you read that writing, Tharlan, makes me maybe a little more scared to go that way than of the orcs. I'm not sure.
Makes me wonder if there's something worse than orcs down here.
Well, who is...
Exactly.
Is this to keep things out or to keep things in?
Yeah.
Daggone this lore. Alright, Tharlan, who is this foe smiter?
I'm not sure he would know. It's a rather sad thing, but I will give him like a roll. Not something I usually do, but since he's an NPC, I don't think he would necessarily just know. Let's see here. Give him a good chance here. He says, from the writing, I imagine that it must have been some hero of these people. I'm ashamed to say that it's been some time before my people ever dwelled in halls like this.
I see. Well, let's remember why we came here and what our ultimate mission is. Do we think it's a quicker way to go down this hall, or to go back and face some more orcs?
Furthermore, do we know that if we venture beyond this door, would we be sealed in?
Well, that's a good point.
Similar mechanism on the other side in case it does shut?
Tharlan shrugs.
Oh, well...
Can we
Hey, I'm gonna... hey, Command Mount, now buck up now, Tharlan. This is our lives we're talking about.
I'll start searching a wall.
Is yeah, let's... Is it the custom of the dwarves to make such one-way doors?
Let me look here.
I could imagine them doing it if they were trying to keep something in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's... I mean, on the plus side, it can also keep orcs from following us. This is the one direction we know orcs are not going to be in. But, like you say, it could be worse than orcs down here.
Well, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't very good at keeping dwarves out.
Well,
you can, when you look, you don't see any obvious mechanisms. You could take the time to search for it. It would take a round.
You mean a turn?
A turn. I don't know why I say that. I don't know. It doesn't even make any sense. But yeah.
A period of time that you know what one is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, neither
so
one
weird.
of them makes sense. It's
no. It makes like a round being like a round as if like a kickboxing match or anything else. It makes sense. It's like a, and then a turn is in the call and response mechanism, which has turns.
Right.
So I don't know why do I get that backwards every single time. I don't know why.
Or it's a turn of the clock.
Yeah, that's true too.
But well, I think it's worth. I mean, my vote is it's worth taking the time, especially if we're going to go this way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, this is fascinating. If we're going to get something super valuable, The other place has been raided by orcs. This, who knows what we could find. I mean...
We're more or less... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Once we're more or less sure that we're not going to get totally trapped in there, we'll head down that one in the usual marching order. Gotta explore the magic door.
Agreed.
Oh, that's a lot of rolls he's doing. For treasure, though, so that's good.
Alara, you can make you can roll a d6. You don't want to get a 1.
Oh.
All right. Cool.
Rolled twice for me, okay.
You hear coming from the corridor to the northwest, you can clearly hear like this growling, warbling sound, heavy footfalls echoing from the corridor to the northwest. You're not sure how heavy, because if it's, right at the edge of the corridor, then it's maybe a big thing. If it's way down the corridor, it's a huge thing. But something is heavy enough to where you can actually hear its footfalls slamming against the concrete. In here, the air, it says musty air swirls around you, being kicked up from this door being opened. You can tell it hasn't been opened in a long time. Alara, you get the sense that this thing coming down the corridor is singing to itself, and it's not a pretty song, but it's singing.
Would I recognize the language at all, or no?
What languages do you have?
I know I have Goblin, and then I don't think any of my others would help. Elvish, Lawful, Common.
No, yeah, you don't recognize the language.
Well, whatever we decide, it better be quick. It sounds like there's something rather large coming.
Was there enough time there that Ben was able to discover anything, or is this getting...
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you were able to look around and find a companion mechanism where it looks like you could close the door or open it.
If we're hoping, this sounds like a good time to maybe get in here and close it behind us and hope whatever Alara just heard.
Yeah, trouble.
Can't open a door that's made for dwarves, right?
All right.
Everybody in.
Do you press the button?
I do.
Okay.
If you want me to, click.
Yeah.
And then like a flower petal, like the portions of stone, like, and close back up. You hear the stone scraping, but in such a large chamber, it doesn't emit very much of a noise. You hear this thing getting closer on the other side of the stone door. The air in here is suffocating. You can hear yourself breathing in your own ears. Motes of dust flying around, in the beams of light from the lantern. And the ground starts to shake as the thing gets right next to the wall. And then you hear like it going like, whether speaking or singing to itself. Another round passes. Eventually it stomps off into the darkness.
All right, let's see where this tunnel takes us.
You go down the rail.
This is a okay, yeah, head down that way.
Okay. Let's see here.
Can we tell by glancing at this dwarf? Can we tell how he died?
Yeah, let me look. He has no valuables. The skeleton is desiccated and ancient. It's been here for a very long time. No, not from looking at it. Let's see here.
A rail, I'm sorry, a rail at a 25-degree angle.
A pair of rusted iron rails leads downward from this location into the darkness. The rails are spaced roughly 3 feet apart, and the passage slopes that way, 25-degree angle.
Okay, so it is a passage we can walk. It's just like, it looks like what, like a minecart type situation?
Well, since they're twin rails, yeah, I would say, yeah, it's probably something where minecarts can be pulled up and down, yeah. Makes sense.
Is this safe? Like, we're not going to fall through. There's actually ground under them, right?
It's steep, and it is also very long. It goes very, 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 very far down. Is
the rail sturdy enough that we can use it kind of like a sideways ladder for footholds as we walk down?
You could maybe use, like if you're careful, you can make it down. Yeah. Okay. So long as something doesn't happen, right? Like if something comes barreling behind you, then that could be a problem, and you'll go tumbling down. But you can walk down, essentially, as long as you're being careful and nothing is messing that up for you. And it's not slippery, so.
Both really uncomfortable with how steep and strange this setup is, but also really intrigued by how strange this setup is. So you got this magic door that just leads to railway. That's
Delve too deep.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you guys a story later about the Balrog.
This goes down and down and down. It actually goes, let's see, Helmer and his companions are able to go at 60 feet with treasure. This takes you, let me see here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whew. This takes you 9, 90 minutes of just going into the darkness.
We're not with treasure, I don't think.
Right.
You said with
Oh, sorry, I meant without treasure is 60 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. So, let's see here.
so bad. Okay.
Let's see if anything happens. Has somebody got a torch lit?
My lantern is lit. Yeah.
I think there was a torch, though. Was there?
No.
No, I just said I had a torch if you needed one.
Gotcha. You go down so far that you find you have to actually rest for like 10 minutes because you've been in here so long and it goes so far. You have to actually stop and rest. And then lastly, it goes so far again. And like this is claustrophobic, uncomfortable, and you lose a sense of time and space. And you go down so far into the dark that you can only see a black pinprick in the dark behind you for where you came from. And you have to take another rest. And lastly, that's it. And now you've been for 5 hours in the dungeon. And finally,
Wow.
you approach, you can see a room ahead. There's a couple of other things going on here. One is Tharnlin whispers to you all. He says, "Do you want me to tell you how far down you are, or do you want me to keep that to myself?"
Wow.
I am incredibly interested.
Yes, please do. Any connection to reality would be nice right now, Thornlin.
I would say you're about 300 feet under bedrock.
Wow.
That's horrifying, and I wish you hadn't told me.
Aye.
I regret my decision, and I will make that mistake again in the future.
Alara, roll a d6. All right. As you approach, you can see the edge of and it's almost like this. Like imagine that at the edge of this darkness here, you can kind of see around it how, as your light approaches it, Alara, you can see that the darkness is starting to kind of you can tell that there's a room, but with your elven ears, you hear that there is something in that room shifting and moving around. This is with the light being at the edge of the room. It hasn't kind of entered yet. You have infravision.
Okay. Do the dwarves see it too, or just me?
You hear something. You hear something moving around inside.
I'd probably quietly whisper for everyone in the group to stop. There's something in the room ahead.
I get this mental image of Edward with the lantern slowly panning over, and then there's these two big eyes reflecting back.
Well, I hope not.
Gonna turn this lantern off now.
All right, what do you all do?
Tell us more about this figure. Can you see anything more about it?
She just hears stuff moving. That's what she hears.
Does it sound like nails scraping on stone, or more like just something gliding across it, or I guess like oozing? Like I'm trying to figure out what kind of sound exactly.
Yeah, it sounds like you hear something. You hear like 3 distinct sounds you can make out. So you just probably have to tell everyone hey, stop, don't move. And by the way, if you move any further, that light is going to enter the room, right? So so you have everyone be quiet and listen. You can hear that every so often dust crumbling, the sounds of caves, subterranean places. You can hear people breathing, and then you hear just slightly the crunch of something on straw and dry stuff rolling or moving. And then you hear a clanking, and you're like, those are bones. And then you hear a groan. Those are the 3 things you hear.
Skelly boys and zombies.
There's the sound of bones breaking and something moving beyond the light.
Well, let's destroy it.
I suppose we don't have any direction to forward.
All right. You walk into the room.
Question.
Kind of all we... Oh, go ahead.
At this angle, since we're on a slope, would archers be able to shoot above others into the room?
Yeah.
If needed.
Yeah, good point.
If we get the light, once it sees the light, is it? I mean, what else? How smart is it? Is it going to come into this corridor rather than us go to it? Maybe if we get its attention, it'll.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called, but you're trying to set up a thing on the slopes, or if it comes to the bottom, you can have people firing, and stuff. Is that the idea?
It might be good to temporarily dim the torch too, to see if a dwarf or someone with infravision could potentially be into the room without flooding it with light or giving away too much.
Yeah, but they could also set up you or the dwarf to be taken out before we can do anything about it. So
yeah, I was thinking about if Laura were to go forward and scout, but it's we've got no other direction but forward. So I think
I'm thinking if we if someone ducks down low or something to just kind of peer, since we're at an angle to peer in, or does the ground flatten out before we get in?
No, yeah, it actually kind of what happens is, it has this railing, and then that starts to slope out at the bottom, and it actually departs the ground in places to where it can do that. So, no, yeah, you could probably try to, stay up against the wall and poke under and look real quick, but you wouldn't be able to see all the way in the room. But
down to look in, but not like walk all the way down to the doorway to look in.
Okay.
In case it already knows we're coming.
To see if it investigates, and when it goes into the doorway, let loose on it.
All right.
You could try that too.
Let's see here. When you do that, Alara, let me see here. Okay. So you do that. You come up. You hold close away from the railing to the wall, and then you duck down and you look with your infravision, and you can. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. And you can see, like, just the front portion of the room. Okay, so about 15 feet in. You can see about 15 feet into the room, just on the corners, there is a wooden bed partially collapsed, and it looks like there's a body on it, but then the body like creaks in the wood and it flops over, and it shows a skeletal arm, restless and moving in the bed. And there's one on either side of the door, about 10 feet into the room on either side. You hear more of those noises further into the room.
So you're describing zombies or undead.
Or the person has a bone arm.
Be like Finn.
I'm gonna go with the groaning noises, potentially.
Either way,
Cursed dead things.
The only way out is through.
At least it's not a giant dragon.
Or an hour and a half walk back up this hill. Yeah.
All right, let's do Ben's plan of trying to draw these things forward through the trickery of the light, and then let loose by our archers.
Oh, I forgot to mention something that I suppose is important. No, never mind. Sorry. I apologize. I thought I saw something really important. Go ahead. My bad. What were you saying, Steve?
I will draw them out with the light, and then have the archers ready, and then how wide is it? Is it we can stand 2 by 2, or is it?
It's very narrow here. Yeah, you can stand about 2 by 2. It's basically another one of these corridors, except that it has a 25-degree sloping angle.
Okay, so Tharlan and I at the front, and then I've got the 2 of the accompanying knights with their lances, and then the other 2 with their bows out too.
All right. So, is the plan? So, are you advancing, or are you going to try to draw them in, or?
Yeah, we're going to advance enough that the light goes in there, and then see if we can draw them out with the light if they get curious.
Okay. Yeah. So you
pull them into our little kill pocket.
All right. You advance all the way up to the edge of the room. The light clearly goes into the room. In fact, people in the front rank, they can see about halfway into the room. About halfway into the room, you see more of these old beds, most of them rotted and dry rotted and collapsed. They contain more of these bodies, which are clearly skeletons with a short, stocky bone frame. They have still on them old rusted helmets and axes that they have near their beds. And some of them kind of shift restlessly, but none of them, even as the light comes into the room and you come up to the edge of the room, they don't move. You also see in the center of the room, you're starting to see that this is actually one of those 80 feet by 80 feet rooms. It's a circular room with the 2 rows of pillars again. The rail continues into the center of the room, and in the center of the room is an ore car, a mine cart.
Is it on rails?
Yes.
Is it the same rails?
Yes.
Have we been following the rails this whole time? I guess is what I'm saying. So,
Yes.
oh, okay.
I mean, once you went through the dwarven door thing.
Yeah.
Is there conveniently one rail car for each of us?
Yeah, how big is the rail car?
Yeah, that's actually, I don't usually, I'm gonna say that because that's funny. Yeah, there's there are 3 rail cars and they can fit the party. One, so it'd be like 3 each, except one of them would be like maybe a dwarf and 2 hobbits or something. What would it be? It would be one of them would be 2 and a dwarf and a hobbit, and then a hobbit in another cart or something like that. But otherwise, you all would fit.
Oh man, that's hilarious and ominous.
How many people are with us? Did we leave most?
We've got...
I think you have 8 because you left 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lobo and Daniel are back.
Right,
6, 7,
okay.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 12, actually. But 3 cars, everybody will fit.
All right. What is there? Is there any exit out of this room?
Well, you can only see halfway into the room. So I just described the things you can see from where you are. No one's entered the room yet. Everybody's in, as I understand it, you all went until the light entered the room. So you're still up in this, packed up in this 25-degree angle sloping hall.
I think we have to have a really quiet huddle. So we got a room completely filled with skeletons. Ominous, skelly dwarves, and the very ominous mine carts, or a perfectly safe hour-and-a-half walk behind us.
We didn't
It's gonna bring us a lot deeper.
We didn't come in here to choose the safe option.
It's true. We got rations. I got rations enough for a week.
What's in those carts, right? There might be some valuables.
Yeah.
Right.
Might be some valuables on these skeletons if they attack us. I mean, dwarven artifacts from back when the dwarves actually, did this sort of thing might fetch a good price.
All right. Rank up and cautiously move forward. Ready to be swarmed.
So you keep moving. Okay. You move cautiously until you enter the room. Who is the first 2 in the front rank?
Tharlin and myself.
Tharlin and yourself.
Well, wait, hold on. Tharlin is how many hit points right now?
Yeah.
He's 23. I don't know. That doesn't seem right, does it?
He took like 12 hit points damage or something like that.
Yeah. We'll say as much because I don't know why that doesn't show that, but that's absolutely right. You're correct. He's like half his hit points. I remember that. 11 of 23.
Okay. All right. I have 19 hit points. I'm not a fighter, but I have a magic sword. So I submit that I take his place for now.
Okay. So
Rappi, how are yours?
8. I got 8 hit points out of like 13. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have 19 total. I'm at full with 19.
Looking over Tharlin's wounds, they're not that bad with 6 hit points healed.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Do some laying on hands.
Nice. All right. He's like, oh, I feel a lot better than I thought. That's strange. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let him take his place again.
All right.
It's only right. This is your people.
Tharnlin steps a big heavy boot into the room, and then looks around like, oh, and then nothing happens. Looks back at you like, all right. And yeah, Helmer, as soon as you put one armored boot into the room, all of a sudden, whoa, and then these skeletons just raise up, and yeah, they're
Oh my.
they come at you all. Let's see here.
That's so many Oblivion skeleton noises.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is way too big. Let me fix that. What is going on? It's not
Crazy dental work going on in the Dwarven halls.
I'm going to draw kind of the circle of the room so that you have like the full use of, like the full tactical use of the room as much as I can, as much as we can do here. Let's see, I'm just going to draw like a, let's see, whoops, that's not what I want. Oh, hey, I can, yeah, that is what I want. That's perfect.
Since they're coming right away, we can draw back and pull back into the hall, and then that way they could only come at us 2 by 2, and then we got our lances and archers.
Unless they go back to sleep, if you step back out of the hall.
Well, that'd be pretty interesting.
Win-win.
Yeah. So if they stop immediately, I just hold my foot down until they all come up, lift it up, we kill them, put it back down again.
Let's see here. The exit out of this room, let's see, you're coming in this way. So the exit out of the room is this way. And I will put you all up here. This is not going to be perfect, but that's okay. Ooh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Yeah, totally. You can move your people around there. I'll give you a little light so you can see all your peoples here too. All right, and this room is 80 feet across. So whatever the distance says, it's probably, yeah, twice, 2.5 that. Okay, so, and we're going to use the procedure because it may be life or death. Anyone running away, doing any spells, any stunts or plans?
Well, weren't we going to use a choke point?
Yeah, the plan is to kind of pull back and then use the hall to our advantage.
I know that's not the exact order of... but that's fine. We can fix that later. Obviously, they're going to attack who they can, so that is what it is there. So, all right. So there's your choke point there, and then no spells in that case. Helmer, roll a d6.
Oh, here we go. Use the d6. There you are.
A 5. You are able to act first, which is kind of bad in this case, isn't it? Because you gotta just wait. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our archers can't see. I guess they can't quite see down there.
I'll say the archers can see the first 2. But so they can actually, anybody can do ranged attacks against the first 2.
And the hobbits can shoot.
Yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
that. They have crossbows.
Not enough to use a sling.
Nat
But I could
20.
use a bow, right?
I think, yeah. Your target is ascending armor class 12.
Ouch.
Oof. Here we go.
Roll.
All right, let's get it all out of our system in the first
Right.
turn.
Oh, no!
Right.
This would
My
be
I do
goodness.
minimum damage.
We're done playing around. We'll hit them next turn.
I think, have we done a total of like 3 damage this turn, I think?
Thanks to Knob, one of them is hit, and somebody else hit it, so that kills it. And then you still have one hobbit left, so he's going to try to attack too. Liana does 2 damage. That's 4. All right, so you kill the first 2. Bam, there you
I
go.
think Adarellan only got a 10. That wouldn't hit, would it?
No, it's armor class 12.
Okay.
All right. So, oof. All right. They're not going to do any missile attacks. They're just all going to move. Now, the good news is that, let's see, they have movement 60 feet. So that means that only, like, some of them can make it. So that's pretty cool. I'll use my a squared plus b squared equals c squared here. That tells me that's probably not going to happen either from the... And then, you know, it's kind of proportional to that, so... They start heading your way, but only 2 of them make it. Now, they're able to move and attack on their turn, so they're going to attack. A 4 and a 14. But I don't think 14 hits you, does it, Helmer?
Nope.
All right. And roll another d6.
Oh, here it comes. Oops. Everything buried under character sheets. Alright, D6. Coming at you. 2.
2. All right, you all win, so you can act first. You can shoot these 2, and you can shoot these 2.
Look at me.
Nice. Which one you shooting?
Leftmost one.
And kill it. Ben does 4 damage. Alara 15 for 2 damage, so you kill the other one. And let's see, Thalia, I think, misses. No, Thalia hits for 6 damage, kills another one. And you can do your melee attacks too. I'll do Tharnlin here.
Oh, he missed.
Nat 20.
Nice.
So Tharnlin chops off the other one's head. Just rock. Alright. They're undead, so they don't do morale checks, so they just keep moving forward. And you can roll another d6.
Now, after removing their head and, like, they die, right?
Whatever trauma being bashed in and shot with arrows and crossbows is enough, it seems, to stop whatever unearthly and abyssal, you know, demonic power that is granted life to these things. You're not exactly sure how it works, but they're not moving. You shot them till they're dead.
Leftmost one is my target again. I'll assume we won because we tied again.
That's actually a good question, though. Let me look at that. Because that's a 5th edition thing for zombies, but I wonder
What?
if it... She was asking basically, did they come back? Does it look like they're moving, or do you
Like
guys?
if you chop off a body part, or if you behead it or take its arm off, does the entire does it die, or does the fallen part die, or now are you?
Right, you're right.
I always assumed it was just chipping off big enough chunks that it couldn't hold together, like whatever.
I was just curious. In 5th edition, zombies have a chance of coming back. They also do in Shadowdark, but not in this game, actually. But skeletons don't either way. You basically just destroy them, like they shatter. They're like these old bones. They shouldn't even be walking around. Something's wrong, you know?
You old bones. You shouldn't even be walking around.
Let's see, you shot the left one. Did you guys already do your melee attacks for this round?
This was a whole new round.
Yeah, this is a new round. But I got you.
Oh.
I got Edward. And Thornlin missed. Doralon misses. I didn't do the hobbits yet. They'll get a chance to attack. Lieutenant Athalia hits. Which one is she shooting at? I imagine the ones in the back, because that's tactically important. I don't know.
Yeah.
She also hits.
The lances are doing the ones in front.
Alright, that kills them. These things just mindlessly march towards you, and you guys form this, you know, elevated wall of crossbow and arrow fire and lances and blades, and they just come in and die. Very nice.
Alara did 3, and then the other elvish girl did 5.
Nice.
Unless they're all dead.
Yeah, you've got a pile of shattered ancient skeletons, bones all around you now, Helmer and Tharnlin. And let's see here. As you come into the room, let me get rid of this. I'll actually leave the room up just in case it's needed for some reason. You can see, so there's a minecart in the center of the room, and there are these rails, you know, that continue on. Whoops, why did it do that? Well, that's not where it would go anyway. Like this. Whoops, nope. Why? Guess I don't really know how to do this.
I do like this.
What is
There's
happening?
a room. They were on these beds. Are there like chests of things in here as well? This looks like maybe a barracks room or something like that. Like a guard, you know, like a guard room or something. There must be. You think it's worth searching in here?
There. Oh,
I think
gosh.
it's worth searching.
Okay.
Could be a secret in here too.
Yeah. So there's the door on it's actually the northwest side of the room, but this is where you're facing coming in. So to your right front, the room is 80 feet across. It also has that high ceiling that's arched like the ones before. It doesn't take long looking around at the foot of the old beds that they have lockers. You kind of kick them around. They just have old rusted helms and rusty, ruined weapons and armor and rotted clothing. They don't seem to have anything of value in here. Yeah.
With the skeleton structure and the armor and such, would that give us a clue as to whether they were men or elves or dwarves?
Yeah, when you take a look, it doesn't take you long to surmise that these are dwarves.
Okay, it's with not finding any treasures, I guess we can move on from here.
You go into the corridor to the right front.
Yeah, start heading that direction. Or should we, like, while we're here, do you guys want to search the room to see if there's anything else? Secret doors, passages, or anything like that? Or do you guys think we should continue on?
Well, shall we look inside the minecart?
Definitely look inside the minecart. All 3 of them.
Yes.
But they got seats.
No one has any torches lit. It's just the one lantern, right?
Yeah, just the one lantern.
Okay. So you look in the minecart, you can see that it actually the entire the iron railing actually is at a slight angle, which started, like I said, up above and then sloped down, and then continues sloping, to the right front, so that it looks like with these heavy cars, they would just start to roll if it weren't for a large chunk of rock that wedges in front of the front car. Apart from that, you see nothing but old stone, chunks of stone and soot and things inside the cars.
Like, I really want to ride them, but I can't for any way.
It sounds like a really terrible idea, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like, oh, we should hop in there. Like, incredibly unsafe. It's kind of like Donkey Kong Country, just straight down. It's okay, we're going to jump over. Donkey Kong lied to me.
You know what's funny? I have no idea what's going to happen when you get in that cart, so we're just going to find out together if you do it. So,
Cool.
It could be the end of the campaign for all I know. I have no idea right now.
Well, let's not say we did.
We could send them ahead of us to maybe break through some barriers or something like that, clear the path for it.
That is a
Or
fascinating idea.
it could be like Pippin with the skeleton at the knock knock.
But in our case, it's like genius of a took.
Right.
Idea. Maybe set them up so if we do have to run, we kick them on our way out to hopefully not get anybody chasing after us.
That's
I
not
have
a
an
bad
emergency rope to it.
Yeah, like if we get in totally scared and rig something up to in case, be ready to kick that rock out of the way as we book it, trying to get back. If we decide orcs are better than whatever we find, and we want to just haul ass and get back to them.
See a goblin throw a rock. In case of emergencies, kick rock.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious how they propelled these things up. That's what I'm curious about. But all right, so well, shall we move on then?
Let's move on. Trying to think now. Maybe they're still here because some dwarf apprentice didn't think ahead. Fool of a took. They're supposed to make it so they can come back up.
All right, let's see here. Let me get rid of this stuff then. Whoops.
Sorry, Papa, I'm only 60. I cannot think that far ahead.
I'm just putting the bodies off to the side, obviously, as one does.
Yeah. You'll have no reason to use those again, I'm sure. There's no way that could come back and come up again, right?
All right, so let's see here. You start to travel into the corridor to the right front on the far end of the 80-foot long room, and you see another long corridor descending down. It's got the rail is here. It would take you, let's see, it takes another 20 minutes before your lantern light shines onto the edge of the precipice of another room. But you can tell that it is about to do that once again.
Now, does the rail track follow this corridor all the way?
Yeah. And And then you hear noises, which I don't have in this VTT, but you hear, oh.
Is this the same as last time or bigger?
The same as last time.
Oh, okay.
What do you do?
Shields at the ready. Now I'm thinking about it. In case of a really bad case scenario, is there places for us to be able to get out of the way of these carts? Should they come down behind us for some reason?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. So do you wait?
Can we tell that they're coming towards us? Your elven and dwarf eyes see.
After you wait for a moment, yes, you can tell that. And it does seem like there is a group of them coming towards you again.
All right. Now we don't have the... do we still have an... sorry. Goodness. Words. Porky the Pig moment. We have the slope still?
Yeah.
Advantage?
Yeah, if you want to do that again. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, same scenario.
But this time we'll try to hit something.
Hey, now they're literally undead.
Yeah, they're undead.
The thrice undead.
Let's see here. I'm gonna roll to see where they show up. Okay, so they start all the way over here when you hear them. And when you wait, they make it about halfway, and then they keep going. You can roll a d6 if no one's casting spells, running away, or if there's no other plans.
Here it comes. Got us a 3.
A 3. I got a 3. You guys are able to act first, but you're going to stay put, is that right?
Yeah. Can our archers see them yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Alright. So by the next round, they make it there. They're going to get a chance to attack. The good news is that they don't seem to have any kind of organization, so they don't have spears and stuff. They both miss you and Tharnlin, Helmer. And it's your turn. You're able to... well, I'm sorry, that was their turn. This time, roll a d6.
Crumbs, I keep doing that. Sorry, I keep burying my buttons here. There we go.
And you got a 6. You are able to act first, and now everybody can fire at all of them from where you are.
Right. So God. Gunna the 10.
Lara, you hit for 6 damage. Which one are you shooting at?
Probably the closest one.
All right. And let's see. I gotta get rid of some of Squint's ammo. He's down to 9 crossbow bolts.
All right.
Short bow 3. And if you guys just want to have like one ammo track, or however you all want to track your ammo, but that's what I'm going to do with the ones I'm tracking. Let's see, so that's 3 points of damage, and I think that's it. Except a Doralon, if he rolls a d20, I think he has a... Does he have a bonus to hit? Yeah, he does. So he actually hits, so he does damage. 6? Which one is he shooting at?
Probably the next closest one.
Alright. Alright. Any other missile attacks? No? Okay. Roll a d6. Alright, you all beat them. Interestingly, they're not there yet, but you can shoot at them, so that's good. Nice, nat 20 for a Doralon. Nat 20.
And
2. 3.
somebody has something to say.
Yes. She's feeling vocal these days.
Let's see. Edward kills one outright. And then 3. I think that's it so far. And I got one more hobbit. Alright, so you kill one.
Roll a 20 and do 1 point of damage.
Yeah. Let's
Second
see.
time.
Let's see if the other hobbit can finish it off. They do, but they're running out of crossbow bolts.
Are we able to collect crossbow bolts and arrows when we go by, though?
That's a good question. I'll say that you can, except for 2 things. Because I think that they can shatter. I mean, you're shooting stuff at high speeds against stone and stuff and everything. But, so what I'll say is you can roll a D100 for however many ammos are fired. A sling, you can always just pick up rocks. So some games have discrete ammo for slings, but this one, I think Dungeon Crawl Classics might. This game doesn't. You just pick up rocks. But anyways, D100 for the percentage of things that you find, and it takes a turn. It takes a turn to do that. Separate from, well, I guess, no, not separate. Somebody else could do other things. Okay. So anyways, roll a D6 again.
Anybody else want to roll D6s? I feel like I'm hogging on the rolling.
Oh, you're the caller. It's
Right.
all your fault tonight. Ow. Oof.
I'm really good at rolling nat 1s for those, so you're welcome to.
Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, another one.
All right. You want to finish this thing off?
Okay, so that would be. Are we within melee now?
Mm-hmm. This one, yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
He moved up and attacked.
In that case, Pablo with her lance. Joe
That hits.
with her lance. And Helmer with his sword goes to.
Hits.
Come on, Helmer. Come on, man. Get it together, Helmer.
All right. And you kill a bunch of skeletons that rush towards you as you start to enter this room. From where you are now, as you approach the entrance to the room, you can also see the rails continuing off into the distance and starting to kind of like curve off to your right front. This is another 80-foot by 80-foot chamber. It's identical to all the others. It, however, has the crumbling remains of wooden benches, tables, and 2 large bellows. The bellows point down along the track to the corridor that continues on to your right front.
Goes to the northwest.
Okay. So these were like commute carts. Like in Black Mesa. So we had the guard, or like the place where everybody has their naps. Now we're in the black, the forge. Okay.
Are there any more minecarts in here?
There are no minecarts in here.
Is there anything on those tables and stuff, or is it just like more rusted, decayed weapons and stuff, or is there?
There is nothing of use on any of the tables. Many of the things are all oxidized to the point they're just clumps of rust, many of them bonded together, and you can even see that the large bellows themselves that point down further into the corridor are also completely useless as you look at it.
We're gonna get to the point where we're gonna find some items that are completely untouched, and then we're all gonna get real nervous. Alright, I guess we just carry on down.
All right.
Tharland, could you tell us how deep we are now?
Are you sure you want to know?
No, I don't,
Nope.
but I do.
We're about 400 feet under bedrock. Let's see here. This corridor is even longer. It goes down and down and down and down until finally, this is where you probably asked that question. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rounds. You find you have to rest. 4. And you've now been 7 hours in the dungeon. Let's see here. And finally you come to another room that opens up. This chamber is especially massive. The railroad continues into the room. But do you enter the room?
Can we see anything?
Or hear anything?
Okay.
To expect, stop and listen. Yeah.
It'll take a round to do that. You get completely silent to get the whole group to just be completely silent, and then you do a listen check. If you do that, I'll let everyone make a listen check. But it'll take a round.
I think that's a good.
A turn. Why? What is wrong? There's something about my brain about that's wrong. It's like...
The rooms are all round, so...
Well, I do it in every game for some reason. I don't know why.
The body is round.
Could have a round of drinks while we wait.
It's your turn to buy.
All right. Did anybody get a 1, or did any thief or elf get a 1 or a 2?
Sorry.
But I did not roll that.
A 3,
I got a-
yeah. You got...
I got a 1.
Chris got a 1.
Hey!
I did not get anything.
All right. As you all are silent, Edward, you're able to hear in the distance a woman's cry, very briefly. A woman weeping, just like the sound of it echoing, and then stops and nothing else. But you're sure that's what you heard.
The music did that thing again, and as you were describing that, the drums were like... dun, 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 dun.
I can hear a woman.
Ooh.
Does she sound natural or...
When you foolishly worship
I.
dead officers, I don't think there's...
How could it be?
Let's roll
But
out.
nonetheless, I
Hondo.
tell you what I heard.
The TV wants us to roll out. Alright, I guess we should slowly go
Sure,
forward.
she's friendly.
Probably.
Okay. So, yeah, this room, it is huge. This room is about 120 feet across, 120 feet diameter. And you can see that the tracks continue until about the center of the room, when all of a sudden they're abruptly ended. And there is, in bisecting this room, this chamber, a 10-foot across deep chasm. You look down and it goes almost to the very end of your lantern light, down to the bottom of the chasm.
Cutting the room in half?
Yeah, it cuts the room in half. And when you look at your lantern, it almost goes down into just darkness, how deep the chasm is. It's 10 feet from one lip of it to the opposite lip, and it's about 20 feet high up to the ceiling, to a 30-foot high domed ceiling.
Does the railroad track continue on the other side of the chasm?
It does, and you also see looking here. On the opposite side, on the northeast side of the crevice, is an old ore car resting on the tracks. You can see as you come in something somewhat bright and shiny behind the ore car. And even something glimmering within it.
That might be worth it.
We can warp it. It also scares me.
Something about this almost feels like a carrot on a stick. Like a fishing lure or something too good to be true.
Yeah, and that's those are the kind of the main things. I will actually draw this stuff going on here so that you can kind of work with it. All right, and
Wondering if Tharlan goes and checks it out, if it would be safer for him to not get. Oh, is it across the chasm? In which case, no.
Yeah, we'd have to throw him.
Everybody thought it. Is there anything here we can make like a use as a bridge?
Don't we have like rope or grappling hook or something?
Yep.
Right.
I mean,
Yes.
we gotta get to the other side somehow, though, and
Well, maybe the grappling hook would catch on the mine cart.
Oh, that
It could also pull it into the chasm.
could have a bad ending.
Yeah,
Or
it could.
pull us like way across over.
Well, how long is the mine cart?
what do you mean, how long?
I mean, front to back.
What's your intention? Like, what are you trying to do? Just so I can understand.
If we pulled it, would a mine cart jam in this chasm?
Oh, right. Is it 10 feet across? No. Yeah. No, yeah.
And if it's perfect. Okay.
Because what I was thinking is if we went to the edge of the room where the chasm is, and we're able to find a hold in the wall to get the grappling hook, and then swing across there, kind of like you'd swing across a brook.
It's gotta be something.
we can see there is a bottom to the chasm, right?
Just barely.
It's
It goes all the way
barely
right to the
above.
edge of your lantern.
So I assume that's our lantern goes about 60 feet, so it's 60-ish, maybe a little bit more deep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much rope I got 50 feet of rope. I think other people had rope, so
I'm thinking of swinging across, like it, is the wall completely smooth, or are there rough spots where a grappling hook could grab?
You're trying to put it on the left or right wall so that you can try to
Yeah,
like
if we
swing
went to
that
the
way.
side of the room, like say, I'll just see if I can click. I can't. Right here. Nope, it's not gonna let me draw on it. Maybe right here. I don't know if that showed up. But go to the edge of the room and then swing the hook up to catch on the side of the wall, and then kind of like you would swing on a rope over a pool or over a creek. Swing across because it's only 10 feet across, and then throw the rope back But the grappling hook is still lodged, and we could take turns swinging across the chasm, like we're swinging across a book, but we're not going down into it.
So I will rule that you can do that, but here's the gambit. It will be very difficult so there are a couple of things you have to overcome to do that. You got to take the grappling hook, and at that point, it's about 20 feet up to anything that would be able to do that. So it'll be a very difficult check to get it up there. I'll probably say you got to get like a, depending on your dexterity, at best a 16 or 17, but if you have a poor dexterity, probably a 19 or a 20. But at a 16, let's say if you have a really good dexterity and you roll a 16 or above and you get it up there, then it'll work. But if you fail the check, you will lose your grappling hook.
The thing I hesitate to say.
This will also make
pretty good
noise.
at climbing. I got over 100 feet of rope. I can climb sheer surfaces with a 90% possibility.
Well, that speaks for itself.
I really don't like this idea, but
There's
tie
a
it around my waist. I climb down. If I slip, you catch me. I go across and I try and climb up with the rope around and hope nothing eats me on that whole trip.
So this is how I'll rule that one. Yes, you can tie a rope around. I think that's a great idea, right? So that keeps you from just like completely plummeting for 66 damage. I will say that, you'll plummet for half of however you make it, and that will depend on a degree of success from your roll. So if like the roll is really bad, then you've made it part of the way, and now you're going to just start tumbling, and then they're going to belay, and then it's going to almost yank you in half, and you're going to slam against the rocks. But if you get close, then maybe it only does a little damage. But if you make it, and then you're good to go.
Basically, I roll a D100, and as long as I don't get above 90, I get a success. So I have a 10% chance of failure. That's good odds, but it's also terrifying. Because also, I can't see that well down there. I mean, I can try and, we can light a torch for me and hope nothing down there sees the light and tries to eat me. Just so, and then.
So let's put it up to a vote. So we got two ideas. One idea is you can attempt to try to use the grappling hook. That'll work with a very difficult check. You'll lose the grappling hook if you fail the check, and it will make noise either way. The second option, which you could do after, but it would just take time if you did both, I'll also say, is then Ben could try to climb.
And there's no boards or anything that we can see either?
You don't see any boards. There's not like boards, yeah.
I was just hopeful for a bench or something.
Right. Let me make sure.
This is the
Down there, I'm probably dead if I try that. That's the only problem. Because I don't know if I can survive an attack by anything at this point.
Especially if you fall first and then get nailed.
Yeah, but if I start yanking on this rope, that's like tugs me. Pull, start pulling.
You get road rash on the way up.
Yeah.
Especially once you get to
It'll
that
be
edge.
me trying to scurry up as fast as I can and me some, but.
Let me down. Pick me up.
Exactly.
So what's the goal? Are we trying to figure out a way
To cross the chasm to get
once
to
we're on the other side, just to get to the shiny?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ben's is the most dangerous, but I think the most doable. It's got the greater consequences, but the greater chance of success, I think.
And again,
mostly because I don't know what's down there. I think the chance of success is likely, but the chance of complications for what it might be in that chasm is what scares me.
Technically, we could do both. You
can do both. The price of that is time and noise.
And attention.
Does anyone have any other items on them that might be useful for figuring out a way across?
Only Velgardo was here. He could fly.
I mean, kind of like if we try the grappling hook and it fails, I'm almost more scared to try mine because at that point we definitely get anything's attention that's down there. Otherwise we just probably get his attention if it's anything's down there.
Oh, then it turns into like this horrible fishing.
Yeah. It's like, do we pull up alive or a dead rat bite?
Actually, speaking of fishing, I wonder if we could if we were to put the grappling hook on there and you were able to rest your foot on it and then hold on to the rope, then you might not have as much of a, like that pull and snap your back kind of a thing, or that's probably overthinking it. All right. Let's do the climb. I think the climb's the...
Yeah, this is where I know it was like, yeah, the suspense of those D100 rolls, life or death, those are killer.
The only other thing I could think of is tying an arrow to a rope and trying to shoot it, but I have a feeling instead of lodging into something, the rope might snap.
Yeah, just bounce off of something.
What we need to do is try to attract a troll, and then we can do that.
Then it's not going anywhere.
Alright, do we want to drop a torch down there just to see if any, before I start climbing, just to see if it gives any sort of...
That's probably
so that when we climb across, we can see if there's anything waiting.
So I can have a better idea before I start climbing down there. Drop a torch, and that hopefully will give us at least enough we can see at the bottom of the pit.
I could use one of my torches if you want.
Between a lantern giving 60 feet and dropping a torch down there, those two hopefully illuminate before, so I know if I'm crawling in anything's mouth or something.
All right.
Let's throw the torch slightly away from where you'll be, so that if there is anything else down there, it kind of goes towards.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a 10-foot wide, so try and get it in the middle, and yeah.
You toss a torch down. The torch does not sputter. It will soon, but you have light, and you can see it's about 60 feet deep. And you don't see anything from where you are. It just looks like barren rock down there.
Okay, so it's not littered with bones of chewed corpses.
Well, is it a passage?
Just barren rock. Rock. Barren rock.
Sedimentary rock.
All right, well, I'm going to tie a rope around my waist. You guys hold on to this end and try not to let it get too much of too loose before as I'm going down and I'm about to start making a roll.
Oh, here we go.
A 2. It's a 2. It's a success.
Oh, nice.
That would have been
yes.
a success. That's a very, very high success.
Yeah. You easily clamber down and clamber back up, and you're able to find something to secure a rope to where people can get across. And then you hear something. Like a scream.
On which side? On which side?
On Ben's side.
The side I'm on now. How far away is this? What do I hear, and how far away is it?
So you are here. I'll move everybody else up, and I'll also put this thing. This is not what this is, but I don't have anything that can represent this. So I'm just going to put something there, and it's like over here where the minecart is, which is about 60 feet away. And a spectral form arises from the minecart. Let's see here. Maybe this one?
Oh no.
Want to go back down this hole? Sorry, I don't know how I seem to have come to the wrong place. Start climbing back.
Do you do that? Do you start trying to climb back down?
Well, I see this thing rise, and I'm guessing that's before I have any time to really, start tying a rope around.
No, you're good. Yeah, it's already tied. There's a rope here, and no one has to make a check. They just have to travel. They have to use their movement and get across to make it.
Okay. Well, if I can just start traveling back to joining my my crew. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll let you guys come in this, or should I, back where you are? Okay.
All right.
So it's just movement?
Yeah, it's just it's just movement. Yeah, you just get on there and rope bridge your way across and just move. But okay, so Ben, you just want to rejoin them, is that right?
And I'm a coward, yeah.
No problem. Yeah, he passed the check. He gets it. He gets the prize, so he's good to go. You make it back across, and this thing. Let's see. Homer, roll a d6. Ooh, we gotta be a 6. That sucks.
Whoa, no.
Let me see how far it moves. You see a thing. It looks like it's a shimmering. I don't know how to describe this. A semi-humanesque ghost, undead thing, but taller and kind of like a female floating, flying Slender Man thing. I'm trying to piece all the bits
so
together.
Now we know what screamed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to tell me how far it moves, but it flies, so it's going to make it about like this far until you can see it. And then that is going to put it within range of Ben. And Ben, this is, I'm sorry, but the time for the really bad monsters in the game has come.
Yeah.
Make a saving throw. Well, yeah, because it's doing its... Well, yeah. Yeah, at the end of its... I can't remember anymore. I do so many game systems. In this game system, I can look it up, but I'd rather just ask you guys real quick. In BX, do you do magic at the end of everything regardless of all other things? Or do you just do it at the end of your round? I think you do it at the end of everything because somebody has a chance to shoot you to interrupt it. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's why you have to declare your spells in advance. You can't change them, or else you have to drop them without losing them. Okay. In that case, that's what it's going to move up, and then stuff starts coming off of it, like all this like ethereal energy. This, yeah. Corpuscence starts to come off of it.
Am I able to move up to shield Ben, or...
You could, but you have like way less hit points than everybody else.
Oh, well, I didn't know if I could use shield, if that would help out at all or not.
It'll give you a armor class bonus. I know the spell does, but if you get hit, you're worse off than other folks. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you, and unfortunately, you can only use shield for yourself. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head.
Well, and that's what I was thinking is step, because he took some hit damage, didn't he?
Yeah, the 8 hit points.
So I was thinking of stepping up in front of him and trying to shield, unless someone else has something they can do.
This is weird.
Because I have 12 hit points, and if he only has 8...
I mean, what's next in the procedure?
Well, making a plan. Yeah, so that's good. Totally making a plan, doing stunts.
I mean, you know...
Oh, I'm an illusionist.
We should try to save Ben's life if we can, but it should probably not be somebody who will also sacrifice their life by doing so.
Yeah.
But that might be any one of us.
We don't really know what we're in for with this thing yet, but
So.
Tharlan squints and Knob can bravely shield the party as we were.
I'm guessing none of us would know any lore or anything about this thing.
I know somebody who might.
One guy might, yeah. No, he doesn't.
Turns out I don't.
Oh.
of course.
You can hear the Banshee scream, but you can't tell us.
God, I got nothing.
What is that? Horrible. That's what that is.
But I'll tell you what I got is the Sword of Brandon.
All right.
I think that's going to be really important right now.
It might end up being important.
Okay, so what's the plan for the group, Helmer?
Helmer and if we're able to move, we'll move in front of Ben. Usually, pretty much just do the formation.
Yeah.
And then I'd like us to pull back, start falling back from this thing a bit if we can.
All right.
I do think I should be part of the front, and the front
Yeah.
I should be added to the front for this one.
All right. Did we already roll for initiative? I think we
Yeah,
did, and she
we
moved.
lost.
Yeah, and now it's your all's turn to move. So you can go ahead and move your tokens wherever you want them to be. The hobbits have an instinct to get behind everyone for some reason.
Can't imagine.
Instinct
why.
too, but
Brilliant idea. It's a wise. Hobbits are wisest of all.
Funnily enough, I might have some sort of hobbit ancestry in me because I have a similar instinct at the moment.
has this instinct to cower in terror.
Go,
Is that what it is? Yeah.
go ahead and
I'm
move your
fighting.
tokens if you're going to move them.
Well, I don't know where. I mean,
You make it
Thornland,
about
you know,
right here. That's about how far you make it.
Yeah.
You guys can get like right in front of Ben if that's your goal.
I mean,
Yeah.
And then
Can I try
guess the only thing
shooting at her? Not that it would end well, but maybe distract her.
You can, but so are we done moving? Everybody's moved all their tokens, including all the NPCs?
Hang on, I'm still getting these guys. She's gonna move up there. Pablo's gonna be up. No, Pablo's in the back. Here. You guys are back here with your arrows. Okay, there we go.
Okay. All right, if we're done with movement, any missile attacks, you can do that now.
Here they come.
I will pull out my magic goblin sling. I don't know if the rocks it throws are magic, but
You have to hit armor class 16.
alright. Come on, my rock slinger. Nope.
I mixed up my two of my characters. It's okay. One and who else is here?
This one did 4 points of damage.
Oh, what's his name hit? I tried to click on his character and it's not doing it.
Okay. How much damage?
But Adoralin hit for...
6.
Why is it double rolling for me? I don't know. 3.
6, 3, 9. Okay. And all right, so you guys start firing arrows into this thing. You can see it hitting kind of ectoplasmic chunks of things that are kind of phasing in and out, like that. There's things that are real. It's almost like you can see bits of things flying off. She screams. It doesn't seem to have a huge effect on her, and I think that's it. From here, she is going to attempt a spell. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to roll a D3 to figure out who this affects. It's going to affect Helmer. Helmer, save versus spells. Wait, no. Save versus paralysis petrify. Sorry.
All right, 12 for that. Where's my D20? And do I get a plus for wisdom for this one? Is this against magic?
It's whatever your character's number states there.
Okay.
Yeah, you have
14.
14. You pass. You feel this energy coming across the chasm, like almost like this like wave of ethereal water, or just a wash that you're awash in. Edward, Tharnlin, Helmer, you all feel this. And it feels like voices in your mind that are about to take over, is what it feels like. And that is, let's see here. She also has one attack on top of that. She's going to cast Magic Missile against one of you. It's going to be against Edward. Edward, you take 5 points of damage.
Oh,
As this is happening, and then like a bolt of energy arcs across the chasm and shoots into you as that's going on. And you guys can roll a d6. Wait, no, it's your turn. I won that initiative, right? And it's your turn. No, you guys fired already. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a 4 on my d6.
We got a 1.
Oof. Yikes! All right, Helmer, make another save. She's gonna keep trying it, and she's gonna.
If this is magic, I get a +2. Just get a hit. Done, Helmer.
Oof! Oh no!
So you have to roll over or under. I can't remember.
Over and
Okay.
I have control of your character, and I'm gonna turn around and start attacking Ayana on your all's turn. Actually, I'm just gonna keep it on one turn. So let's see. She is going to cast Sleep.
Oh. There's no cast sleep on, I think. I think that's just a bad day for everybody.
Or elves? I don't think that.
It depends on what she's doing, if it's considered goal paralysis.
Yeah, you're immune to any of the paralysis things I ask for from them, and you can't be put to sleep.
Yeah. It's an elvish trait, if I remember right, so it doesn't affect Adderallan or the other elf as well.
Perfect. The 2 of you will be
Three
wide
of us.
awake to watch us get. The 3 of you will be wide awake to watch us get shredded to pieces while you can run away. But not be able to open that door because you're not yours.
Right.
She
So you might as well fight so you can drag Tharnlin's corpse and open the door for you.
she puts Tharnlin to sleep.
No.
And then on the remaining part of her turn, I'm going to take over Tharnlin here and make an attack against his lieutenant. But he misses. You see, I'm sorry, Helmer, you turn around and you're no longer in control and you start attacking. You can attempt your save again on your next turn. And let's see, Edward, you can roll a d6 since you're up there. All right, you are able to act first.
Yay.
It's not moving closer to us, is it?
No, she's doing great. She doesn't want to.
Alright, so we got inbound short bows.
I guess I'll have to sheathe my sword then.
I will say you can use the rope to literally just move. You know, like you can just use the rope to move across if that's your goal.
Oh, well, yeah. It's time. I mean, I gotta use this sword or what the heck.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing then.
I'm not going to require cascading rolls in this type of game. Like, Ben could have died, so we're good to go. You made it. You've got the rope. You can make it across if you want. Let's see. Misses. That one hits. Ayana hits for 3. Ben hits for 5, for 8.
No good.
And I think that was it. And none of this seems to be having a huge effect on her so far. But you can see that, like, there are chunks being, knocked off from her, from these attacks. I have control of Helmer, so I'm going to do... something like that. And let's see here. I think we're at the next round. Is that right? So D6? Or no, that was your all's round. Yeah, because you won that initiative, right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
and then we...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, she gets to attack, and she's going to try to control the thing that's attacking her. So Edward, you can make a paralysis petrify save. Save versus paralysis.
Me, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
You make it.
Success.
All right, and then she gets an attack against you. She's going to use Shocking Grasp. That's an AD&D spell. I don't even know if it's in basic. I mean, I don't know. Web, sleep. I think that's an AD&D spell. I'm just going to pick a different one. Maybe like extra magic missiles. Magic missiles pretty horrifying anyways. It's pretty bad. Let's see here. Attack 1. This is pretty horrible. No, I'm going to start with magic missile actually. Okay, I think it's D6 plus 1, or I don't know if you can... Yikes, I maxed it out.
D6 if it's an attack.
Yeah, it is. Hit, missile inflicts D6 plus 1, so you take 7 damage as this
Well,
thing.
I mean, what I mean is that she had to roll to hit. But I thought it was D4.
Not magic missile. Magic missile just hits. That's the thing about magic missile.
If it's the just hit version, I thought it was a D4.
That's for swords and wizardry. This one just has D6 plus 1. Swords and wizardry, you have the 2 options. You can either guarantee a hit or you can do higher damage. This one, it just hits. That's what it does. So, that's her turn. Roll a D6. Four. Okay, I got a 5. All right, she's able to act first. Once again, make a save versus paralysis.
Okay, here it comes. I can do this.
All right, you're back.
Helmer!
All right, you guys are both back. All right. Well, you're back, and you didn't. Okay.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Not with that.
All right, and she's going to attack with a magic missile. You take 3 points of damage, Edward. And it is your all's turn.
Alright, Helmer's gonna zoop up here.
Oh, sorry, I
Try to
did the wrong one.
Cause enough problems for her to stop hitting Edward. Cease smiting, my friend. And in the meantime...
If anybody else is moving or attacking, you can do that now.
I'm supposed to be doing I meant to roll with my sling, and I used my cutlass instead. But
I really need to put my D20 in timeout.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I've
So
not
so
rolled
does
over
Edward.
7.
Okay, where's...
Oh, I got a 12. That's like the highest I've rolled.
Dang it.
Yeah, no.
Hobbits are not.
Helmer! Helmer!
Hit.
My
Is
God!
that right?
Okay, Squint's got a nat 20 for 2 points of damage. That's not that great. I saw that you hit, Ben. How much damage did you do?
Well, I rolled with the wrong weapon, so I looks like I had a 15, so I don't know if that actually hits.
A 15 does not hit.
When you get close to Edward, you can see that he's in very poor shape indeed. Gasping. Breathing hard. Pale.
All right.
Run!
Yeah.
Run!
Is that all the attacks? Did everybody get to shoot and attack and move and do everything?
I think so.
All right. Let's see. Roll a d6.
It's a D6.
2,
Yes.
5. All right. You are able to act first.
Edward, run!
You can do a fighting withdrawal if you choose.
Nay.
This
I'll continue to. Instead, I'll continue to fail.
I will stand and fail with you.
One sling, I got 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Helmer is gonna make a... Oh, Helmer actually hits something. Thank you, Helmer. Welcome to
Is that right?
conversation.
14 damage?
14. Let me see here. That can't be right. Where is he?
Ayana hits for 6 damage.
You getting a? Oh, did you?
14? No, that can't be right. That would be...
Well, the damage roll itself, raw, was a 7.
Why do I have so much stuff on there? It wasn't doing that before. That's interesting. Oh, it's applied a bonus. Don't apply a bonus. And
You should apply your strength. You have a +3 to strength.
I got a +2.
So it'd be 9.
It might have been from when you were wielding Brandon's sword for a minute.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah. So let's fix that. I don't recall it doing that. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I won't,
It all comes
Perfect.
down to
There you go.
this, or else Edward's probably dead right now. The hobbits have got to hit. They do not. And no one else is able to attack, right?
No, Helmer heard her. Helmer's the new threat. She should attack Helmer.
All right. That's true. Sure. Both of you, let's see, let me make sure this is an area effect before I say this.
I was being serious. Attack him. Attack him. That's not the time for being a paladin.
Any character, okay. And you all are looking at her, obviously, because you're trying to fight her.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of you can make a save versus paralysis.
Okay. Helmer.
Oh no. Oh
Edward.
no.
Oh.
Oh no. It's real bad. She's not even done yet. Now, do you all want this to be an old school game?
It's an old school game.
It's an old school game.
All right. She has control of you, and she makes you walk right off the ledge into the 60-foot deep
She
dip.
does.
Deep pit.
Roll. You might roll ones.
I might roll ones. I
Helmer's-
probably won't roll ones.
No.
Use my dice.
know
It
that.
will help.
Those
You
aren't ones.
You each take 20 damage as you crumple at the
Oh.
bottom of the pit, dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
Elmer's still alive, but he's hurt.
Oh, Helmer's alive after 20 points of
Yeah.
damage?
Yeah, he's got 26 hit points. He's a tank. I rolled really well on all my.
That doesn't make it better that Edward's dead, but it makes it a little better. It makes it a little bit better than what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. Okay.
Oh. Take up the sword of Brandon.
Yeah.
Die with glory.
She is going to all those people that are clumped together. She's going to cast Fireball.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, come on.
Clumps together? Oh, up front.
Like in the center in the back, like right here. She's gonna fly, and then she's gonna. Because that's just a passive effect, the thing where if you look at her, that stuff happens.
Dead to them, so I'm pretty sure.
Isn't it 3rd level magic user? Where is it? A, B, C, D, E, F. Where? Oh, here we go. Here it is. All right, in a 20-foot radius sphere. Now this room is it is 80 feet across. Okay, so that makes this 40 feet. So if she moves, which she is, and she can fly, she's going to move her movement distance to Tharnlin, and then she's going to cast it right here in the center of like all these people right here. So this would be, where is it at here? Like this. Not there. I just can't get it to go where I want it to. Okay, so Fireball per level, and she is a level 10. Really?
So we've already done our attacks this round, right? That's not going at the end of the next round where we get one more attack in?
Yeah, this is the same round. So the
That same round.
yeah the save versus, is that right?
Can she move and cast though?
Oh no, yeah, you're right. She can't cast a spell and move on the same turn. Okay, well, she's going to move. And, yeah, no, she can't. That's right. Well, drats, she can't do anything else. She could move in to attack people, but that seems like a really terrible idea. So she's going to end her turn. Yep. And then, let's see. Alara, you can roll a d6.
Oh, dear.
You beat a 2. You got a 6. You are able to act first.
Here comes
An attack.
You can see that she's about to cast a spell. She takes damage.
So I
then...
think spread out.
Now is not the time for bad rolls, ladies.
Come on. Is that 15
Say
plus?
14. No, it has to be a 16.
Or 16 with the dexterity, so that counts as a hit, yes?
A 16 does hit,
Okay.
yes.
Oh,
19,
Lieutenant
3
Thalia.
damage.
A 5.
All right, she starts to fly, and then she comes across, and she's over the body of Tharnlin, like, clearly, and she's about to do something, and then you all keep shooting arrows into her. Finally, she screams, and she falls down into the pit herself.
No.
Only,
Oh, dear.
only rags remain. And let's see here. And you have lost a friend, Ben, from the beginning. You've, he came in, toward the end of your first adventure, but you were the last surviving adventurer of Perrinval. As Edward perishes at the bottom of this pit.
Oh, Bashaw's still sitting on his butt over in Brandonsburg.
Yes.
I got the impression he's retired, and that's
I'm just saying he's alive.
yeah,
so.
that's like a
Hanging out with a goose.
As far as we
Drinking
know,
with
he's
prophets.
alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know how Brandon
Fair
first
enough.
doing.
Fair
Brandon.
enough. That's true. That's true.
Now we have, who is it, Helmer or Thardlands down in the bottom, alive, but unable to get back up?
Helmer's down there.
Helmer's down there.
you could just lower a rope and get him up. You can get him up.
We should try to get both up. I can't, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't wanna leave it
I am
Edward
wearing mithril chain, and I have a awesome magic sword. So
I just can't see leaving Edward's body down here, so.
No, if we can try and. Yeah. We can't leave him behind. We gotta take him with us.
Well, before we end, do you investigate the shiny stuff gleaming from the minecart?
Might as well, so that their death's
Yeah.
not in vain.
Oh yeah, that's what we came here for.
to find
died
out
for this.
exactly how much it was not in vain.
Yeah, let's poke that minecart with a 10-foot pole just in case.
It was just a piece of steel that caught the reflection of the light.
I want to prove that I'm not making this up. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it up.
What is that?
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Alco.
You have everything you need
Woo!
at the cost of Edward.
It wasn't worth it.
Wasn't worth it.
No.
And
How much? Sorry, I didn't see. I was too busy looking at the word Naga.
Well, oh,
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well,
whack.
longsword plus
scrolls.
3.
we can figure all that out later. But
Yeah.
do
Goodness gracious.
you choose to keep going, or do you take what you need and leave? I guess is the question.
Scoot. I think we got enough to cross the bridge.
We got
now.
what we need, and then getting
We
our
gotta-
friends out.
Yeah, we got a body to bury. We don't have time to stay here for another 7 hours.
When you go out, it's basically sunrise because you've been in here. By the time you make it out, it'll have been almost 10 hours, and then it took some time to get here. And so you start heading back to Bridgetown to get some rest, and that ends the adventure for the night.